What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Opening Edge. I am your host, Ethan Rose, and we've got the wonderful
Rosen's live.
all hat crew, Wits and Rube helping me out here, my stooges. Wits, who has the best hair in the game and definitely the best hair on the show, decided to go hat today. I think we all are donning a different kind of cap. Rube, your bill is nuts. It's just so wide and takes up so much of your forehead. I got the very traditional snapback hat, and Wits has got some casino giveaway. The guy lives off of casino giveaways. If you're in Vegas, head over to Red Rock. You'll probably see Wits or his father Wits over there getting some casino giveaways.
What Roz is failing to mention is that he was with me when these hats got given out, and he also has the same one.
I don't know where it does not look good on my head, and he knows that. In fact, I'm pretty sure I left it at the Vegas house. But that trip's coming up. Me and Wits will be in Vegas together. Who knows what we get into? Had a nice day, like I told you guys, on the blackjack table. Didn't know Palm Springs had that kind of casino action going. Kind of exciting, kind of a Vegas feel. Wasn't really that California, we're taking all your taxes kind of feel, but it was a nice day at the casino. It's starting off without sports talk because we're headed to that end point of what seems like the sports season. Again, there is something with a twig and a ball going on, but no one really cares or feels the need to pay attention to it. But two NBA series, both 3-0. Not much to write home about. We didn't tell you to take the Pacers, so you're safe there. It just wasn't a valuable bet. I did probably tell you to take the Timberwolves. That's my freezing cold take. The Timberwolves look lost. And I'm not totally sure why. Maybe you guys have better reasoning skills than I do. But Rudy Gobert should hand back his Defensive Player of the Year trophy after this season or series. And Luka and Kyrie might be the best backcourt of all time. Is that a fair statement?
I mean, I don't know about all time, but I think it was kind of looked over that with the Timberwolves taking down the defending champs and the way that they did it in Game 7, there was all this hype about, Anthony Edwards is the next best thing. He's going to be the best player in the league. Well, he's clearly the third best player in this series, and it's shown through these first 3 games. He's had some spurts, but overall he's been a little bit disappointing. Obviously, with the big men of Gobert and Towns, just with the way that backcourt plays, I think they've been kind of phased out of the game late in games. And, people were doubting this Luka and Kyrie duo earlier in the season, but it's really come together. And I mean, they've just been unbelievable, and it's really shown with them going up 3-0.
Yeah, and we were talking about this last night. Kyrie seems to have really, I don't know if I want to say turned a corner, but seems like he's kind of changed his attitude or outlook on playing basketball in the NBA and taking a little bit of a backseat to Luka. And they've just played really well, right? Not only them two, but all the pieces around him. PJ Washington, Lively, Daniel Gafford, Derrick Jones, even just all these different pieces playing really well at the right time. And we've given Rudy Gobert a lot of crap, right? And I don't know if it's all been deserving, right? He's not exactly an on-ball defender trying to defend Luka Doncic, but it was pretty funny how Luka buried that Game 2 winner in his face. But the Wolves they've kind of looked out of sorts, and Anthony Edwards, supposedly being your best player, really hasn't come out to play. He played better in Game 3, but Games 1 and 2, the Mavs just look like a far superior team. And yeah, like you said, there's not much to say about it. Both series are 3-0. You can't start the NBA Finals early, which is something I learned yesterday, which is very odd. So we could have like an 8 or 9 day layoff here, but maybe the Pacers or the Wolves can grab one. But yeah, we're getting to that time of the year.
Maybe this is a moot point on the Anthony Edwards thing. Definitely spurts is the right word, Rube. And it was really mostly just in Game 3. His third quarter in Game 3 brought them back from down double digits, gave them their first lead since 5-3 in the game, then went on to score 4 points in the fourth quarter. Can't really have that when you're their best player. But on the flip side, most NBA teams these days, when their best player isn't performing, usually has a number 2, either a la Jaylen Brown, a la Luka or Kyrie in whatever given situation, to kind of put in some points and help out. And again, you hate my slander of this man, but where the fuck is Cat? And honestly, the dumbest post-game interview I've ever seen, taking 1,500 shots a game, my ass. or every day, not game, every day. Like I never agree with Draymond, and Barkley can be a hit or miss. But Cat's post game interviews almost like he was already packed up for Costa Rica or wherever he's headed. What a pitiful! You shoot 1,500 shots a day and you go 0 for 10 from three to start, and then not to mention, Rube. Here's one. And I don't know why I'm calling you out specifically.
Why are you coming to me? I agree
because I think you're a little bit of a Cat sympathizer. Actually,
No,
it's
I'm
more.
not.
Wait,
I thought I was more of a Cat sympathizer.
Dude, down two. He takes a three last night, so far to the left, but sits there like this. Legitimately sits there like this as the ball is being rebounded and pushed up the court.
If anybody's listening on radio, his
I think
hand
you're
is up.
grasping at straws.
Straz's hand was up.
My hand was up. Yeah, he sat in his shooting motion, post rebound, post push up the court in transition. You hold it when you make it. I don't even like that unless you're Steph Curry and have the record for most threes all time.
Yeah. Coming from an all-time showboater himself and our host here, I think they're.
I don't showboat when I'm
calling
over
the kettle
10.
black.
In fact, I am dude. That is such asinine garbage. I am a showboater. That part is not the garbage. But if I'm 0 for 10 and not having a good day, whether in whatever sport it is, if I'm not hitting the ball well, if I'm not shooting well, if I'm not throwing or catching the ball well, I definitely go.
You're probably pouting in the corner
100%.
30 minutes before that.
But that's not what we're arguing here. I honestly would have respected.
You weren't 0
I went there with it.
You weren't 0 for 10 when you cartwheeled in the home plate.
Oh, I was 1 for 2 with a home run. I'm fucking
You're
celebrating.
probably batting
Dude.
$120.
And that's still better. That's still fine. In baseball, batting, that's not even remotely close to the situation. Cat, you fucking stink. That's all I've got to say. There's nothing else to it. He's not a number 2. They're lucky the Twin Towers worked and just suffocated the shit out of Jokic, which even then, he was still putting up 30 to 40 points a game in that series. I don't know. It's atrocious to watch, and I'm not trying to take it all off Anthony Edwards here. You got to close the game, and he has in this postseason. He's also 22 years old, and I love seeing what I'm seeing. I mean,
you
the
just
team's going to be good.
said you're not going to let him slip, and then you're making excuses for him. Yeah, none of them have played well. Come on.
No, none of them have played well, but Cat specifically. And honestly, Jaden McDaniels, the hero of that team. These games aren't even fucking close if there isn't for Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just have been, that team goes as Edwards goes, and he hasn't been great. And, I don't think they really have, a bona fide number 2 scorer to go out and get 25 or 30 when Edwards has a rough night. I mean, yeah, McDaniels has done it a couple times. Cat's done it at times, obviously not recently, but I think that team, they're a fun team. They've played great defense before this series. But when Edwards, it's, he's 22 years old, so cut the kid a little bit of slack. But
thank you, Ed.
I think it was just, the expectations grew so fast with a few really good games against the Nuggets. People were making MJ comparisons, and that was probably a little premature, I would say. And now he's kind of coming back down to earth. Definitely hasn't had a great series, but I don't think this is the end for him by any means. He's going to be there, but he's 22 years old. It's his first run in the playoffs. So Luka and Kyrie have been around the block a little bit more, and that experience is showing.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think this is the end. And I still like the way that the Timberwolves team is built. I mean, I know they're down 3-0 right now, but they lost the first 2 games by a combined 4 points. It wasn't like they're down 3-0 right now, but it wasn't like they couldn't have easily taken one of those games. And even the game, I say last night, but on Sunday night, I mean, that game was a 1-possession game. We got a goal. We got a hockey
goal. We got a goal. Edmonton Oilers. Come on, baby. Riding with us. We're not even on Hockey Talk yet. Sorry, Witz. You keep going.
I'll say, was that talking hockey on the opening edge? But yeah, I mean, I think the Wolves are going to be around for a while. And I think a lot of people who look down on the Rudy Gobert trade, even if they get swept here, I don't think you
Which
can
was
say
you,
that.
by the way. Let's just put it out there that you looked down on that pretty hard. How many first-round picks? There's a lot of talk.
I did look down on it. But, I mean, looking at the year that they had, it's going to be tough to say it was a success after, if they possibly get swept. But I still think they've got a team that can go very far, right? If Edwards plays a little bit better, they take one of those first 2 games. It could be a very different story right now. But I think you just got to give credit to the Mavs. I mean, they're all came together at the right time. Luka looks like he could get the year that Jokic had last year, right, where he finally won the title and finally broke through. This could be Luka's year. And I'm excited for a Mavs Celtics final, and I'm just going to say that now because no team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit.
154-0 teams that go up 3 in the series. So
if this happens to be the first time, then that'll be exciting too. But I'm just playing the numbers a little bit here. I think Mavs Celtics will be a good series.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, and I think the Western Conference, because I don't want to span the entire NBA, is very exciting moving forward. I think we've all kind of acknowledged, the three of us, that this whole superstar team thing is kind of come to an end, and we're starting to see this evolution in the league of 2 stars or just complete team building. I mean, the Thunder, although they got bounced, could be very exciting moving forward. This Timberwolves team about to get bounced, going to be exciting moving forward. And that doesn't even get rid of the Nuggets, who are built to continue to contend, as well as that. I mean, they just re-signed Kyrie, the Mavericks, so he's going to be there for a while. The West is going to be fun and exciting, and I think the old guard has officially shifted. I think they're still going to make plays, they'll make teams, and they're still going to give their best in terms of LeBron and KD.
They're going to make the team. Nice.
They're going to make teams in terms of, like, I think LeBron. There's a lot of talk. I don't know what your guys' thought on this. It's ESPN's way to try to keep the LeBron story relevant right now. A lot of talking about, like, where he's going to go. I don't think he leaves LA. I think this whole talk about drafting his son is so insane to me, but I've heard interesting third pieces coming to LA, and you know what? Who doesn't mind, like, the Lakers being competitive? I don't even think a third piece necessarily makes them a mega team again, like the old days. I think it just makes them competitive against a Nuggets team that absolutely wiped the floor with them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really into the LeBron sweepstakes anymore. It's been almost 20 years of this now, and yeah, he's still one of the 10 best players in the NBA, but the Lakers team just, they should have been good in theory for the last 6 years that he's been there, or whatever it is, and they just haven't ever gotten there outside of the bubble championship. They really haven't ever gotten close, and I don't know who they're bringing in. Like, they're going to bring some age, quote unquote, superstar in to help them out. Like, I just don't see anyone out there that's going to want to go team up with those guys. And, I'm kind of just sick, like you said, right? It's the kind of the changing of the guards here. Like, LeBron had his run, KD had his run, Steph had his run, but I think it's time for the new age. And I don't think that, regardless of what they try to do to make another super team, I just think that some of these younger teams are built to last more, and I think it's kind of a changed
awesome.
NBA for the better, I think.
Honestly, yeah.
And I think KD joined Steph's run. I don't think you can say he made a run.
I'm not saying that. Yeah, but I just think, like, Steph's probably a little over the hill at this point.
Yeah.
Too.
But I said this to Witz, I think Steph, like, if he decided, and maybe it's hard to go from being a 3-time MVP and NBA Finals MVP, NBA champion, to be a Ray Allen, which, by the way, Ray Allen was what he was before going to the Heat and helping out. I mean, can you imagine Steph Curry just being a shooter for your team, like your championship competitive team? Like, if it's not Curry's team and he's just there to shoot and you need big threes, big shots to score, like, if he's not the man anymore, which for some reason Golden State, it's still the Curry team, everything around Curry. By the way, I forgot Chris Paul was on that team. You guys know that he averaged 5 points a game. Chris Paul, just a weird afterthought. I just saw him the other day. Popped in my head. We'll move on. But I think if Curry ever were to adopt the, like, Ray Allen career finish, would be so interesting for a competitive championship contending team.
Yeah, I think it could be. I just don't see him ever leaving Golden State, though. Maybe it's just
right. That's the.
I mean, maybe I'm
agree.
wrong, but it just feels like he's going to be a lifer there. But yeah.
I don't think we're quite there yet with the Steph Curry being into the Ray Allen mode. I think out of those 3 guys, I think he's probably got the most to offer out of all of them. LeBron is still very much a top player in the league, but can't really do as much by himself anymore. Just with all the good teams out there. You mentioned the West, Rods. I mean, I think the East too. You're looking at the Celtics, obviously are a very good team. You got the Knicks, if they're fully healthy, I think they play a lot more competitive series. The Bucks, I mean, they dealt with a ton of injuries. Giannis, Dame, Chris Middleton, if they're able to put it together. The Cavs and the Magic, both still relatively very young, but I think a lot of potential. So I think both sides, and I didn't even mention the Pacers, and whatever team Joel Embiid stays in Philly. Like, I think both sides are pretty exciting right now, with a lot of up and coming players. So
Joel feels kind of like that LeBron to me, where it's like he's kind of just like they've put so many different things around Joel, and it sounds like there's the talk about like Jimmy Butler coming back to that fold, and it's just like, where does the old guard end and the new guard begin? Like, that doesn't excite me, putting Butler back with Embiid and thinking that's going to be the answer. Lillard is a bummer to me because I think Lillard got stuck the majority of his career in fucking Portland, and just like he was a fucking winner. Though some of those buzzer beating playoff wins were awesome, and I'm worried. Maybe is he old guard? Like, him in Milwaukee isn't that exciting. Like you said it best. Like, Drew Holiday's more exciting to have for that Bucks team than Damian Lillard is.
But he was hurt in the playoff series, and
no,
so
I'm not taking anything away.
I think the East is a bummer this year with the East. Like, I think it could have been a lot more of an interesting playoffs if those teams that Witt's talked about are healthy. But it just, I mean, basically every good team, with the exception of the Celtics, has been pretty decimated by injury, like in those top 5 or 6. So it'll be interesting next year if somehow they all come together. Not to say that they're going to be healthy next year. Some of these guys aren't getting any younger, but I think there's some good teams out there still.
We didn't address the Boston Pacers series. Also 3-0. Also should be 3-0 in the other direction. If you watch those games, the Pacers absolutely shit down their own leg. I mean, game 1, all you got to do is inbound it. I'm pretty sure this opening edge team could have inbounded the ball against the Celtics and it drawn the foul. Just my take. Game 3, great that we bet the comeback and the money line live. I'll take that money where it lay. I did bet them -7.5 because stop playing with your fucking food.
Don't take my victory on that one. You were on the -7.5.
I said it was a we.
I told you they're winning this game in the middle of the game. And you were complaining about the Celtics -7.5. You just got to wait to bet the Celtics. I got it up right here. We're waiting until they go down 6, and then we're going again.
We are going to go again. I'm with you. I'm getting my phone ready as well here, live on the show. We're a gambling show here. Celtics play with their food. You guys have been really annoying in my head about them, and you guys just laid it out for me that everybody in the East was completely hurt. The Celtics team fucking stinks. Jaylen Brown's the worst number 2 in the NBA. And then I love Tatum, so there's nothing I want to say ill will about him. 36 points last game. So he's fantastic. But this Celtics team stinks. You know, they're fucking they're sheep in wolf's clothing. I'm gonna flip it backwards because they're fucking sheeps. That's what they are.
I mean, I've offered to bet you Celtics versus.
We're gonna do it
multiple times.
We're just not there.
Why don't we do it before? You keep saying we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
You turned it down on the last episode. I said, let's not wait. Let's go do this now.
I never turned it down.
You never turned it down.
He did.
I've been bleeding green since this playoff started.
Virtual handshake right now. We put it out there.
I'm done. $50. I got the West. You got the East. Here it is. We're good to go.
It's on camera.
It's on camera. 50 buns. I mean, all right. This is you guys can talk nicely about them. I mean, Rube over here went from Jude Irish in like 36 days or whatever it's been for the playoffs. I mean, my God.
I think, this isn't the college football playoff. Like, you win the game or you lose the game. They're up 3-0. Yeah, they probably shouldn't have won game 1. Yeah, they didn't play great in game 3, but end of the day, it's 3-0. They're probably going to win tonight. If they don't, okay, they'll win game 5. I mean, I think this team is just so deep, especially if they get Kristaps back. Yeah, they haven't played anyone yet.
Let's go! Woo!
Got live reactions again from Mr. Edmonton up there.
Come on!
But
Connor McBee! Sorry,
good?
It's fucking exciting. We're trying to make money here at the opening edge. I told everybody what to do. We're trying to make money. Edmonton 2-0, game 3. You gotta love it.
I want to bet the Stars money line just because you're pissing me off with your interruptions. What's their money line? Plus 370. Let's go.
It's my fucking show. I'm gonna interrupt it whenever I want. Anyways, that's unless you guys have anything else, we don't have much to do with the NBA until the finals, where we clearly have already made our picks without even seeing a line. I don't even know what it's going to. I'm probably going to be stiff.
The line's going to be at least -220 Boston. So there you go.
At least. I was going to say they're what, -180? So I don't even. That's where they're at currently.
I mean, I don't think it's going to get like there's nothing to make it go one way or another now. But
And I just want to acknowledge before we move out of basketball and talk a little puck talk, which we don't have much to offer here. Although Edmonton is fucking feisty. Hold on. But before we move on, we did lose one of the game's most interesting color commentaries today. And because I think our older generation doesn't believe that we know this, one of the greatest centers in college basketball history. He also was great in the NBA, dealt with injuries, but Bill Walton passed away today. Very sad. It's going to be a weird season without him. I didn't know he was ill, but, sending out the condolences and all the good vibes to his family. Very sad. Again, one of the most fun commentators to listen to, and the only person that would get me to watch a 9 p.m. Pac-12 game.
Yep. Bill, he had a way with words, and he'll definitely be missed. So, yeah, sad time for basketball. But yeah, you get to see all the outpouring of all the stories and things that, people will remember about him. So I think he definitely won't be forgotten.
Yeah, he's one of the few guys that, we didn't know him obviously in his playing career, but in the announcing, there were very few guys that I would tune into a game for the announcers. Like I didn't really care when Arizona State was playing Oregon State at 10 p.m. on a random night, but if Bill Walton was there, you just never knew what he was going to say. It was always interesting.
He made it electric.
He definitely will be missed. He's was one of a kind.
Let's segue into puck talk real quick. Edmonton up 2-0 here on Monday in Game 3. The Rangers with an epic Game 3 victory in overtime. A game they absolutely should have lost. They were up 4-2, blew a lead earlier in the game as well. I think everybody here at the Opening Edge has determined that because football isn't a 365-day sport, we might be strictly hockey playoff guys now. I think I'm invested. It is quite a game, and honestly, I challenge you all to go to a regular season game. They're awesome, electric. It's like a TV show in person. But yeah. Rangers 2-1, Edmonton up 2-0. It's tied 1-1 in the series here in Game 3. We're cooking with gas. Rozzy Hockey is cooking with gas.
Oh, he's already counting his chickens. Here we go again.
I just said cooking. I didn't say the meal was finished. I'm not plating that meal yet.
We'll see. I've seen you jinx yourself many times before, but yeah, hockey's been exciting. I think we're the first to admit we're definitely bandwagon hockey fans, and that's okay. I'm fine admitting that, but it's been exciting. These playoffs, having a little money on it obviously makes it a little bit more fun. We'll see what happens with Edmonton. Obviously, a big Rangers win yesterday. They're back. They did blow 2 big leads, and who knows if they were going to hang on there. But big win to kind of flip back the home ice advantage, and looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be a good one. By the time you listen to this, we'll either be really happy or a little bit more nervous. So, yeah, I mean, Wits, even you're tuning on the ice, the puck, the stick.
I did turn on the Rangers game, and it seemed like the Panthers had about 100 shots on goal by the time I turned it on at the end of overtime, but it only takes one, so it was very, very exciting. And yeah, playoff hockey. It's a sport that none of us really ever played or ever watched that much, but it's very exciting. So I think, for the years coming forward here, definitely could get into it. Playoffs are fun.
Yeah, for me, it's picking one of the 16 teams, putting some money on it, and just going for the ride. I mean, obviously, it's lucky our first year we're riding the Rangers, and I'm with you, Rube. We always make fun of the bandwagon fans, right? Like you never want to be one, but for hockey, go Rangers.
Yeah. If you can admit it, though, like if you admit to being a bandwagon fan, I feel like it's okay.
Dude, and that's what that should be how these sports try to gain more attention. Like add the gambling flair to it. The NBA will get more fans. The NHL will get more fans. All I need is one of those 160. I don't need the 82 games that come before it. I just need one of those playoff teams and to ride with them. I mean, I'm invested. I feel like those khaki-wearing fucks up in New York in Madison Square Garden. I'm part of that unit. I don't even own a pair of khakis, but if we're going to the finals, I'm buying a pair, wearing them every day until the end.
I feel like Wits. I'm a New Yorker for.
I know.
Or maybe
just get ready for disappointment. That's all I can tell you.
No, Rube and I we hopped on at the right time.
That's seems like it. Definitely better time than I did.
Let's talk golf. Rube, our golf extraordinaire. I'm assuming we were nowhere close with any of our picks. I mean,
No, I
you
mean,
guys,
Scotty finished second. Tony finished sixth. I mean, forgot who you took, Xander. Do you have anyone interesting?
I think Akshay missed the cut by a large
Yeah.
margin.
But I mean, it was kind of a snooze fest, to be honest. On Sunday, Davis Riley pulled away. I think he won by 5 or 6.
well, Scotty started hot. He was 2 under
he
through
started
4,
bad.
and then no, he was 2 under through 4, and then
terrible
he had that. Then he had that triple bogey that just blew up on him.
Yeah, he played bad on Thursday, turned it around Friday, Saturday. Just didn't really have it on Sunday. Course that was very different. I mean, I think it's short and tight. So I think only one guy got to double digits, I think, maybe 2. I forgot if someone snuck in there, but definitely a different field and like a long ballpark like the PGA Championship. So it was interesting. It could have been interesting, I should say, but I think there was never really any doubt after the first few holes on Sunday. So not the most exciting.
Scotty really finished second?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That guy just does not want to drop. Like,
it's a bad week. That's a bad week for him now, is second.
I know. Oh my God. He is something. He's not in the RBC Open this week. Up there in Canada, where Rory is the favorite at plus 350. Canada, this is RBC. They loved Michael Block last year. That's what they were famous for, offering Michael Block a spot. And don't quote me. Please don't quote me. Dear God, don't quote me. Scotty's not playing this week because he has a felony charge pending right now, and he's not allowed to cross the northern border.
We'll go with that.
If Wits get a drunk driving ticket, we are no longer allowed to cross the Canadian border until something else going through court order system. It's their border tight, wicked tight. So I don't think Scotty. I think with the open charges, Scotty isn't allowed to play, and that's why Rory's plus 350. The guy wins one tournament, one divorce, and people are all over Rory. He did exactly what we thought he was going to do at the PGA Championship, which was absolutely nothing, except for trying to backdoor place probably the top 20 or top 10. How are you guys feeling about this Canadian Open? I can tell you that I'm taking the 2 picks I sent you boys. Cam Young, 22-1, just because that's a guy that's in need of a win. I think he's poised to get one of those. And then Nick Taylor in his home country, oh Canada, where Nicky Taylor lives. 65-1 seems like the easiest money you'll ever make.
You got Wits.
Yeah, I do like those 2 picks. I mean, I think throwing a little bit on the defending champ at 70-1. I know he's not playing the greatest golf right now, but I think throwing a little bit on him. I don't really love anybody near the top of the board. I think Cam Young was probably the guy that I'm leaning towards, but I'll probably be looking to make a couple live bets on some guys, maybe after Thursday or Friday, but I just can't see myself taking Rory or really anybody at, plus 350, plus 400. I won't even do that with Scotty. So yeah, I would look at Cameron Young. I think another guy, Adam Scott's been playing pretty decent lately, and he's one of the top 10 favorites. You can get him at 25, 30-1. But yeah, nothing really stood out to me this week, so I'll probably try to make a couple live ads. But yeah, I would hate to see Rory run away with it, because then that means I probably won't be making any bets.
Yeah, this is probably a great spot for Rory. Just a tournament that he can put in his trophy case, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything in 2 weeks. I think it's a perfect spot for him. Not saying I'm going to take him, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going to go, in the 20s. I think is kind of where I make a lot of my plays. I'm going to go to Alex Noren. Kind of split it between top 5 and winner bet. He's had a really good year. He's not really contended for wins necessarily, but a lot of top 20s, a lot of top 10s. Doesn't hit it particularly far. This is a shorter golf course, so I think it might work in his favor. He's been a really good putter, so I think if it turns into a shootout, which I think this tournament has in the past, I think he can hang in there. He hasn't won a lot in the past, but who's to say this isn't the first week? I think he's around 25-1, so he'll be my official pick for the week.
Okay, that's our RBC Open breakdown and picks. We're bound to win you one. If you follow us long enough, a blind squirrel finds its nut. So you can bet your sweet ass.
Not all of them do. Some of them just keep running until they run into the wrong side of traffic one day.
Well, that's the optimist that is Wits.
Well, I would just say one more thing to add. Like betting on golf, betting on winners is fun, but for people who are actually taking it seriously, I think you're going to find a lot more success betting, top 20s, placement bets, just trying to preserve your bankroll. So, I mean, not really giving out a pick there, but just you can get a little bit overboard with the outright bets, as I've done many times, clicking buttons on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and even Sunday, only to come up empty-handed. So stick with your top 20s. Should lead to a little more bankroll preservation.
So take Nick Taylor, top 10. Probably get him at a good value.
Take him to win. Take him to win.
That's what we're doing. Football, hopefully, right around the corner. A lot of talk about Jordan Love being MVP this year. He's got deep odds. Feel free to put your money on that. We'll get into that when we do breakdowns for awards. Packers.
Everybody is talking about the Packers. Everybody. They're the up-and-coming team. It's a scary spot to be in.
The Houston Texans are. People are talking about them.
In the NFC, then it's the Packers. Everybody loved the Packers.
Like I said, 180-1, or if not more. I think it was like plus 180,000, which again might be that number.
Okay,
you know me.
That's not true. Maybe it was 200-1.
Swear to God, no. I'm talking about Packers to beat the Texans in the Super Bowl. Feel free to hop on that bet.
Exactly.
180,000 to 1.
You can get the Packers to miss the playoffs at plus 125 round. 125 right now. I think that's my favorite bet if we're talking NFL.
And you can get Bears trading Caleb Williams to some other team in the next 5 years at minus 150. Feel free to hop on that whenever, because that's an absolute certain. It's going to get testy here, football season. It's not here yet, though. We got to get through the NBA Finals and the NHL Finals. But as you can tell, football is going to be a little testy, a little feisty. There's some confident guys on the other side of the screen that don't know what it's like to win in anything, and that does mean fantasy football and with their professional sports teams. So we'll be catching you next time, everybody. This has been The Opening Edge. We're thankful that you listen, and we're thankful you're making money with us. Talk to you later. Peace.
Yeah.